Hello, this is DJ again. Welcome back to CycloneFlag. Let's go ahead and we had just built out some metal construction. We have our tavern going. Go upstairs. Our little farm going. We have a little barracks. Make sure, let's go ahead and I'm going to adjust this barracks a little bit away from the wall. Okay. Just because I want to go ahead and put squads, schedule them for some training. Build. We want fortifications along this wall. That's why we moved it back a little bit. Fortifications they can see through, so they'll see anybody come through this door. Give that a moment. They're still finishing off that roof there. My group watching the dodging demonstration. So this is the squad that we just built. Looks like they all grabbed axes. We should doesn't look like we've built any. Do we have? Looks like we were just getting ready. Let's make some charcoal. This is going to be the Kickstarter for us. Rock blocks. Got a human bard visiting, human lasher visiting. Spring has arrived. Everybody became a recruit. Need an empty bucket. We need some more buckets. Let's go ahead and do 5 buckets. Basically, we are, when we're milking up here, we're filling up the buckets and we're probably not processing enough cheese fast enough. Waiting for some blocks. Make sure blocks are being made. Yep. Here we go. Making rock blocks. Sweet. Making some buckets. Making some charcoal. Let's turn off bars and coal and ash from here in our main. This is our main storage area right now. But we kind of want to keep all the bars and charcoal up in this general area. We want to create a rule for coke. So we're going to take some of this bituminous coal and we're going to make some coke. And we want to at least have like 20 coke on hand. And in order to kick this off, we did need some charcoal. So we're burning some logs into some charcoal. That'll help us there. Our hospital, we need this hospital bed traction bench finished. So we need some iron for that, which once we get the coke running, we can get some iron. waiting for those blocks. Oh, there we're starting to see the blocks come in. Almost have this roof done. Raspberry seeds. Okay, now that wall should be built. So now our practicing group can come in here and be out of the rain. Dish Mob is leading the fighting demonstration right now. We have some Coke on hand. Let's go ahead and make a stockpile. Just wondering if we should combine the stockpile into bituminous coal and metal. Let's go ahead and make another quantum stockpile, start processing. So we'll come into add a new route. We're going to add that second minecart that we built. We're going to say stone. Let's grab bituminous, lignite, all the metal ores. We're going to take from here. Remove all the pushing of the minecart around. So they're going to bring a minecart here. This is currently set to dump to this little one pile stockpile here. And check my phone's going off like crazy, so yeah. Just work talking. Once we get that minecart in, everybody's gonna get real busy moving all this metal ore here. Do I have... Let's make a couple more wheelbarrows too, just to... I don't want them lugging around. The metal ore is pretty heavy. Let's also, right now we have this entryway in, and when anybody comes through the door, they have to go through the animals. So let's build a paddock for the animals back here. Something like that. Make some more rock pots, because I can make wooden barrels or I can make rock pots. Let's just go ahead and make a batch of 10 rock pots. Then we can store stuff in those as needed. That'll last us a while. I just wanted to see somebody put something into this minecart. And they have dumped the minecart. And now we're having a quantum stockpile starting. You have to be careful sometimes with the quantum stockpiles because you kick one off and everybody gets real busy collecting all the rocks and metal that you've asked for. And you don't have them available to do the stuff you need them to do because they're all busy. Guess we could change this to actually accept the metal ores. And we'll change this one to also accept the metal ores. There we go. Now we should start seeing the metal ores come in. Let's make some iron bars. So we can get iron from hematite, limonite, and magnetite. You have to have coke and ore. We've loaded that into the furnace, processed that into some iron bars. So now we can come over to our metalsmith station and other objects, iron, and we want some iron chains. Let's go this way. Iron chain. There we go. Forge iron chain. Let's make 5. Stone's getting pretty well cleared up, which is good. We do need to do something with the kaolinite just to clean up the floor. More wheelbarrows. One more quantum stockpile. Set my track stop to dump to the right. One more wooden minecart. Making some iron chains. Let's make a traction bench. I don't think I have a rule for traction benches yet. Nope. We only need one. Traction bench needs a table, a gear, and a chain. So as soon as they are done making the chains, they should just be able to go grab like this table here. and make that working. Okay, so we have this walled in area up here. We can knock out a little bit of this back wall so that they'll have a path. Put in the door. Chop down that tree. Make a new animal zone. New pig and pet pasture. Let's wait for this tree to be chopped down. Sweet. I'm gonna only do grazers. I'm gonna assign all the grazers here. Everybody's gonna pull the animals over into this zone back here. I can go ahead and remove this zone. I have some trees growing around this area. I think I'm gonna put in paved road. Maybe right here in front so I don't get any trees going right here. Traction bench has been completed. 5 iron chains. What would be good is eventually like a cobalt or a goblin thief could try and sneak in and steal things. So what I'd like to do is put a guard dog on duty up here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put in a rope chain now that we have some chains. Say right here, like that. Ooh, unicorns, wild unicorns. It would be nice. We attracted no migrants. Be nice to maybe capture some wild unicorns. Let's build some wooden cages. The unicorns will freak out. Let's also assign one of our dogs to this chain. Yeah, the unicorns, as soon as they come like within view of these peeps here, my dwarves are practicing. It's weird. The unicorns usually always are trying to get down into your base, and as soon as they see a person, they'll run away. A lot of times you'll see that action that we saw here, where the unicorns come along and then they'll come along this wall. So this wall would be a good location probably to put a trap, maybe a trap over here. Traps are pretty overpowered, so I don't like using them too much. Build traps, cage trap. We'll just do this. If anybody comes along this wall, they'll be trapped in the cage. Traps can capture things bigger than you would expect as well. So you can basically capture a titan or forgotten beast in a trap. I think those unicorns are just kind of hanging out here wanting to get into my fortress. Just like that. Running away scared. Let's also, in our pets and livestock, we have a domestic dog that's been changed. We can make that into a war dog or a hunting dog. Hunting dog has better senses and can smell and see better. A war dog has better defenses. So let's actually, since it's at the front door, let's put a war dog here. Sometimes I like having a combination of both a war dog and a hunting dog, so I get the best of both worlds. So right now you can see the color of my regular dog. Someone's going to come up here and train this dog to be a war dog, and we'll see a little bit of a visual change as soon as we get a trainer coming and doing that. Needs empty cage. Now our cage is coming along. Okay, we still need some more empty cages. Training of the dogs going on right now. Looks like Asen is training the pup. Train the stray dog for war. The pup moved off the out of range real quick, so training didn't complete successfully. Thought I had some trainers. I can do it really fast. I have an animal trainer come in my last. Hold on, you're an animal trainer. Let's set you. We'll add a new work detail. Animal training. We'll name it animal training, and we're gonna say ass and fish mob and Olan. Let's just have Olan. Both of these, I just noticed militia commander Marksdorf, so they're in our military. So having them get away from the military to come do animal training, they won't have time. You can also like all of our metal's been collected out. There's one more piece of metal down there, a piece of magnetite. We can armor iron. Magnetite do we have? How many iron bars? We only have 3 iron bars. Okay, so let's just put a rule for smelting magnetite. As long as we have less than 20 bars, they'll keep on smelting. Set up this other add new route. That one there. Add this other minecart. This one is kaolinite and gypsum and alabaster. We're going to take from here. Remove these rules. Set up the go-to stockpile. Just this one. Stone. Alabaster. Gypsum. Kaolinite. We don't want any wheelbarrows. Doesn't need to come from everywhere. Open up the wheelbarrow or the minecart, dropping it off, pushing it off. Hey, animal became a stray war dog. Let's go look at that. We have a war dog now. Stray war dog, dame. Here's that road that we put in. Visually, this will keep the trees from growing in. I am gonna step away for a moment and I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. Go look at Lorban, our expedition leader. Does love our Earl. Let's look at Earl. Earl has a need to fight and a need to be with family. Earl's in the military right now, so this is not optimal because I want Earl to spend more time with Lorbam so that they can blossom that relationship. So sometimes you have to pay attention to that and move people around, kick people out of where they're at right now. I would prefer Lorban building the relationship and trying to achieve some of these other types of needs. Acquire object, Lorban won't achieve in the military right now. Be with family, they won't achieve. Unless we can build a family. So I am gonna kick her all out of the military and just have a 3-person training. This is pretty early in the game anyway. It's good to have a small group to try and defend yourself with if we have anything happen. Right now we're just trying to get generally stable. So we're only in spring of 101. So those unicorns are still out here kind of wanting to get in. So maybe I'll put a unicorn trap in this general area. Let's do that. We can make we can force a trap. So basically you want to create a funnel, and you want to funnel your animals into the path, because right now they're just kind of wandering around freely. So what we can do is we can make a path for them to follow. And we can either put walls down, or we can dig trenches, because they will tend to avoid going up and down cliffs. It's a little easier to just build some walls. Let's do that route. Let's go right where this unicorn is standing right now. This is going to be our trap. Kind of just want to create a funnel. Something like that. So if anybody comes along, they'll be forced to step right in here to where this trap is. Something like that. Have a human poet visiting. We have a trap. We have a good section of wall up so far. These unicorns are still hanging out, and one of them just got trapped. Lovely. Now we have to decide what we want to do with this unicorn. Unicorn meat. Or we can try and train them. Unicorns are hard to domesticate. And then we'll just go and you'll think everything's fine, and then all of a sudden unicorn returns to the wild state and attacks your dwarves. And unicorns are pretty powerful, so we may just end up using these unicorns for our food supply. Noticing we're out of booze again. That's never a good thing. I tend to not make the auto rule for booze and just keep an eye on it manually, because the auto rule for making alcohol, it makes so much alcohol. Which I guess there's worse problems in the world than having too much alcohol, but raspberry wine. Lovely. Listening to a story. Who's telling the story? The human lasher who's visiting is telling a story. The visitor has come to relax. He heard the constructive tummy was the place to enjoy oneself. Got some singing. He's chanting right now. Once we get our population up, we should be able to get some good song and dance going on in our listening poetry in our tavern. Okay, that unicorn is here just in a cage, so we need to solve unicorn. Also, the unicorn was dragged all the way down into our fort, so maybe we should have a spot for animals that get caught in cages. Maybe over here. Animals. All the animals. And we can go back down and we can turn off in our central one, we can turn off all the animals. Someone should come and grab the unicorn, take them upstairs. Here we go. "5 years old, it's tough but sickly." Her hair is white, her skin is white, her eyes are gold. That unicorn, wild animal caged. We'll go ahead and we'll say train. Olan is going to come and train it. Looks like we have some pandas wandering around on the map as well. We captured the one unicorn. I don't see any other unicorns. Have all left the map. So once we captured that one, everybody else was like, no, we don't want to also be captured. A fairly good sized panda. Sparring. Grew into a rooster. Now summertime. Where did our unicorn go? There we go. It's taken a while for Udal, our chief medical dwarf, is hauling a unicorn. Animal training area, we'll just go ahead and mark this. It's animal training as well. So now that that unicorn has now a semi-wild, over time, Udal can improve that to, it won't ever get tame. Wild, a unicorn can never get tame. It'll always be in a state where it could revert, which can be dangerous. Right now would be the optimal time for me to make some unicorn meat. But that's also a sad thing to do. And we have a happy little unicorn. So I don't know if I want to go that. You have choices. You can either be Al Pacino and eat some unicorn meat, or you can be Julie Andrews and see the happy little unicorns. Here we got this panda walking right up to our fort. I was hoping they would come around that wall and maybe get into that trap. Not that we want to eat pandas also. They are just going crazy. Okay, let's see. Human caravan has arrived. Human traders. High treasurer has arrived. The human trader is coming. Lovely. They brought up our, we've been crafting some crafts. Since I had set that stockpile to auto trade, they just brought it up. Diplomacy. The expedition leader Lorban meets with the human high treasurer on behalf of the Merchants Guild. Sweet merchants. Let me extend greetings to your people. There's much to discuss. There's much to share. So they shared with us some map information. I haven't been to the map yet and look around the map. We'll do that when we're done with this trade. Let's get some alpacas. Yeah, boy and a girl alpaca. I'll get our getting our clothing situation taken care of later. Everybody's clothing is slowly deteriorating, and we'll have to have some cloth for everybody so that we can make some new clothes for people. And ask Lorban to come up and do some trading. Lorban's kind of an interesting, there's a trap I'm in right now. Lorban has too many jobs. If anything were to happen to Lorban, I'd be in trouble. Lorban stopped off to eat some food first. Requested Lorban to the trading post, but they were hungry. And now they're coming to trade at the depot unless they decide to go take a nap. We'll see. Here we go. Lorban showed up. Let's see what we have. Some blocks, some ropes. We have a buffalo bull, a grackle. We have some beer, a cheap barrel. I think we'll go ahead and grab that bowl too. Grab one of these buckets. These are the cheap buckets. I don't really need any weapons at this point. See if we can get some armor on our soldiers. That will really help. Do you have any cheap bags? Bags can be useful. Let's grab that bag there. Got some flour. Here's a cheap bag. Trying to see if they brought a box of leather. Yeah, leather is a lot cheaper than cloth. So I'm gonna just buy that box of leather in case we need it. How are you doing on food? Got a lot of food right now. We don't have much meat. So all of our food is basically plants. How much have we spent? 400, 500-ish. Grab the meat. Any plants I want to plant? Thread, in case anybody gets hurt. Yeah, we can make some quivers later, maybe with that leather we bought, and get some archers going. I do have some reading material. I don't have a library set up yet, so I don't have any place really to put any books or anything like that. So let's trade our stuff. Probably have to bring up some... Yeah, we're gonna have to bring up some gemstones. Unfortunate. So we'll cancel out of the trade. Move some additional trade goods. I don't know why this Kaelanite got here. Sort on value. Gem bin, 5,000. Yeah, I think we can do that. That unicorn's worth 1,000. We could sell the unicorn. No, let's keep the unicorn. Wait for that gem bin to come up here. There's the gem bin. Go back in and do the trade again. Have to redo. We wanted the buffalo. We wanted the alcohol. We wanted the barrel. We wanted some buckets. Don't need any weapons. Nothing really is attacking us crazy. Shields. We can make some shields. We wanted some bags. Cheap bags. We'll find our leather. Hey. We wanted our meat. Restock our meat supply. We're gonna grab some threads. In case anybody needs anything sewn up. Hopefully not. Okay. All these little symbols next to some of these just are denoting the quality of the item that was made. Over time people will make better things. So down here, trader profit. Basically I'm looking to get that grain, because then the trader will be happy, and they will come back next year. No trader needed, and we can move our goods back off the trade station, haul them downstairs. Maybe if we make a little unicorn paddock. Like we caught something else. What did we catch? Oh, that's the stray water buffalo. Yep. Thought we caught something new, but that's the one we just bought. And moose cage. Water buffalo. We do have a female water buffalo, and now we have a male bull water buffalo. Now this space isn't a whole lot of space, so we will want to be careful that we don't end up with too many animals here, because they can just eat all the grass. So we will most likely have to eat some of the animals. That bunny rabbit's not really stray doe rabbit. Doesn't really provide a whole lot for us. Is eating the grass. Can't milk it. So what we can do is stray doe rabbit. You can say like that, ready for slaughter. Someone will come along, grab the rabbit, take him over to the butcher station. Butcher station now just has the remains of the rabbit, which is just a stray rabbit skull. Rabbits don't really produce a whole lot. There's a wild boar. Looks like we had a batch of wild boars come along and get in our traps. That automatically solves all of our meat problems right there. Let's pop a hole here for access to our unicorn paddock. And let's build, what I want to do is I want to have a safety cage trap. That right there. And then I want the door. So if a unicorn decides that they don't want to be, loses its training or decides it just wants to get angry, they'll walk out the door, get retrapped, we can retrain it. Let's look at these wild boars in cages. Train them. Lots of wild boars. So what we also want to do is let's use DF hack . Let's do a GUI auto butcher. That'll open this butcher window. These are all of our animals. Here we can say how many we want of each. The default is 4 female kids, 2 male kids, 4 female adults, and 2 male adults is the generic auto butcher set. You can see up here all new races 4242. Tells us all the animals that we have, and if they get to a certain level, they will be brought to the butcher station. So here in a second, when we train one of those wild boars, you'll start seeing wild boars on the list. We need some, we'll have some empty cages here in a minute. Okay, so we just trained wild boar. So if I come back in and do GUI auto butcher, come back in here, I should have wild boars. is on the list. I'm going to select Wild Boars. I wish this was a little bit easier to visualize. The Wild Boar is now slightly later. And then I have all my commands down to the bottom. So now I can set row targets to 0. So small r. Okay, so that removed boars from this list because I have show only rows with non-zero targets. Let's click there. So now I should have wild boars 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So that means I have one trained and my target is 0. So they're going to just, as soon as the wild boars get trained, they will get butchered. And we can see that in play, in action. Somebody should come grab the one wild boar. Doing some training. I may need to enable auto butcher. It might not be on. Keep airing out because they want some. There's a cage trap here that they don't have a cage to fill, and a cage trap here we don't have a cage to fill because they're all filled with wild boars right now. We learned something about wild boars while we were training them, so now it'll be easier to train them in the future. So let's enable auto butcher. Hey, here we go. Now we're getting, everybody's going to come and grab all this meat from these wild boars. They're grabbing the empty cages. My meat numbers should jump up pretty good from these boars. Yep, meat's at 105 now. We have a trap in front of the unicorn paddock. Let's go ahead and first set down a training zone. Animal training. Something like that. Clear out those two. Accept. So our trainer will keep any animal that's in here. The trainer will take care of and train. Now we're going to do a pin pet pasture. We're going to draw over that. We're going to clear off these two. Except, so we have a new pet pasture laying over the top of a training zone. So now we're going to put this unicorn in here. And we will see how that goes. Playing with fire. Unicorn's hungry. Trainer came, checked on the unicorn, made sure it was trained. Every once in a while the trainer will come up here. Train that unicorn. Keep them trained. Try and keep them happy. So like right now, training the stray unicorn. Mulan's up here, training. Unicorn, semi-wild. Received some food, is now happy. All right, I think that's it for today's playthrough. So I'll go ahead and pause here and we'll save out. this episode we were able to catch a wild unicorn. Hey, that's good. Set up a couple cages. You saw me build out a funnel trap for catching some animals. A lot of times you'll end up, or I'll end up building funnel traps around my map in interesting places. Also being able to put traps right against the wall like that, animals will, and also enemies will run along the wall a lot of times, and you can just easily trap things in that way. We got, we didn't do a whole lot down deep in the fortress. Our military is training. We have, hopefully we have some iron chest plates that we will prepare for getting our 3 troops protected. So I think that's it for this one. I want to thank you for watching. Okay.